Today I want to talk about the blues. Now, the problem a lot of times with people playing and trying to solo over the blues is that there is some lack of understanding of the possibilities. There is a lack of understanding of the framework, and I want to talk exactly about that. So we will talk about the harmonic structure, what's happening, what are the chords, and how can we solo on them. So a lot of people say pentatonic scale, blues scale, and that's very much correct. That's these kind of sound, or all these beautiful, beautiful articulation of sound. But there's also more. And what I'm talking about specifically is the idea of chord scales. And there is a lot of beautiful notes, a lot of beautiful extension, a lot of beautiful lush sounds that we can add to the blues if you wanted to, and it's actually very simple. So let me explain exactly what I'm talking about. So first of all, so we're on the same page. We're talking about the blues structure. This is a 12-bar form. Before I continue, if you're here, I really appreciate it. Please smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't done yet. And I will also want to thank everybody for kind of hanging in there and appreciate all the support and kind messages. It's been a very rough year, so I'm happy to be back and doing things together. So thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I will say maybe one more thing. Yeah, I mean, we lost our boy about a month ago, and it's kind of like going in and out from an ocean of sadness. I'm very happy to be playing and doing some music, so this is meaningful, but definitely not the easiest time. So again, thanking you for that. That's why I also thought the blues is a good template to talk about. All right, so when we're talking about the blues, we're talking about a 12-bar structure. And basically, if we're in the key of C, we're going from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord for 2 more bars. This is kind of sentence number 1. Line number 2 or sentence 2, another 4 bars, going to the 4 chord, 2 bars, back to the 1, 2 bars. Then sentence number 3, the 5, to the 4, back home, the 1, and to the 5. And you have all these kind of like ideas that sound something like that, like so maybe like swing. Right, that's sentence number 1, and then sentence number 2, swear, just like a blues scale, right? So these are the first 2 sentences, and then a lot of times in that kind of like old school structure, there is some kind of conclusion, right? So what's interesting about it is I kind of was trying to hum this sort of like simple idea, but I repeated it twice. Now, because of the 12-bar blues, it has a different meaning once it's over the second sentence, the second, basically bar 5. Starting there, we're going to the 4 chord. So the same sentence, this idea of so will feel differently over this next couple of bars. I said right, simple but super effective, and you have different ideas around that. Now, what I'm trying to say here is when I'm improvising, when I'm soloing, I'm trying to understand the structure. I'm trying to understand sort of like what's happening in the chords, how does the melody sound, and what's happening. And this is important for us to be able to expand our vocabulary. One of the most important things I feel as a kind of like a process for us as musicians is trying to be aware, to listen and to hear it. One thing that I can offer you for free as well, I created a 5-day ear training course, so you can check the link below and just join. It's really helpful, I find, but up to you. So in that spirit, I want to kind of feel and hear this motion of bass. Before I do that, I want to show you the shape that I'm playing. I'm using simple shell chords, so this is the first shape. This is a C7, 1, 7, and 3, so I'm kind of dropping the 5. This is why it's called a shell chord. Only the essentials, the 1 and 3, and the 7. In this case, it's a flat 7. So we have C7 as the first shape, and then the other shape is this kind of F7, also 1, 3, and 5 and 7, no 5. And then basically I'm moving between the 1 and the 4 mainly, and then there's this turnaround with the G to the F. So let's just hear it one time in time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, second bar F7, back to the 1. That's the first sentence. That's the first 4 bars. Now going to the 4, hanging there for 2 bars, back to the 1. And I'm articulating, I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to absorb the sound, if you will. The 5 chord, G7, F7, and then back home to 1. And then another 5. Now, when I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to, again, know that I'm in the key of C, so C, D, E, F, so F is the 4, and it sounds and feels in a certain way. So even though you know the blues, and even though you probably know these chords, and you heard the blues many a times before, it's important to kind of like try and tag that information, these colors, these sounds, as to best of our ability. So, do, fa, C7, the 1, just chord notes. Fa, F7, the 4, this is how it sounds, humming the bass, do, C7, back home, and I'm aware of the structure, trying. Then the last sentence, so, do, fa, do, so. Cool. So this is, again, for us to be on the same page. And it's really great to try and, sing some stuff around that and explore that. But right now, I want to understand what we can play on that is exceeding the pentatonic. So I'm going to play it one more time. If you have a guitar, you can join me. If not, listen carefully and try to kind of make sure you're hearing this. Again, feeling and hearing and being able to tag a progression like 1, 4, 5 that is in this blues structure will benefit us so much, because so much music is using these harmonic progressions. So I want to kind of extract it from just being C, F, G into this 1, 4, 5 harmonic progression. So again, one more time, and then we'll talk about the chord scales and what we can do there. So do, 1, 4, the 5, do. Okay, going to 5, the 4, back home, do, so, 5, do, so. Okay, so that's kind of that. Now I was kind of trying to hum this melody. Was a little high for me, but I'll try it again. So swear, right? Just trying to play and hear how these chords sound with the idea that we're talking about, which a lot of times are pentatonic. Okay, so far so good. We understand the basic idea of the 12-bar structure. We understand the basic sound that we're dealing with. And a lot of folks will say, yeah, I can play, this kind of position of the pentatonic, this C minor pentatonic, or C blues even, all correct. Some people will also say you can play C major pentatonic, which will be, this kind of sound, if you will, this position or this one, all correct sounds and great things to play. But again, the idea of chord scales or being able to articulate each chord separately a little bit is super helpful. So what is it? Okay, so it's sort of like the same idea of modes, but I'd like to basically right now think about it as we're trying to articulate the chord C7. And the reason this, again, video is so important is because it's applicable to any chord scale and any kind of chord. So before we play C7, I'm gonna give you the example in the key of C major. So C7, a dominant chord, is 5 off. Okay, so we'll give the example in C major because a lot of folks are a little bit more comfortable with C major oftentimes. So if I play this chord, C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This is the C major scale, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So I can hear that scale and I understand that the 5, the G or G7, play the shell chord, is the 5 of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, D, E, F, G. So G is the 5. The dominant leads us back home. So when I'm playing the scale, if I have a song that's only soloing, the whole song is just C major, I can play and be merry, just playing C major scale, no problem. Now, if I have the chord G7, it's still in the framework of C major scale, right? It's still a part of the scale, so I can play C major scale, but our point of reference changes, and that is the big deal. And this is kind of the thing that trips a lot of people. So when I have the chord G7, it is true that the notes that I'm playing are sort of like the white keys on the piano. It's a C major scale, but we're hearing it from the point of view of G7. So I can use the C major scale, the white keys on the guitar, this position that I know. I just need to understand that I'm actually hearing it so from this note. And for that reason, I will play the C major scale, but I will continue downward to the note G. So what I will do is just start the C major scale from the note G. It will give me sol, la, si, do, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol. Sol, fa, mi, re, do, si, sol, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, sol. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa. Right? So all of a sudden, I'm hearing everything from the point of view of G. So I know the fingerings and I know the position. It's the same position. You're not doing anything new. You're just continuing your C major scale to the note G. And then you're getting what we call the Mixolydian, the dominant scale. I'm saying it because a lot of times this is a point that scares people. They're like, wow, chord scales, crazy. No, you actually already know it. You know C major scale, and if you don't, it's all good. You can grab it here. There's also a PDF and with tabs and notation on Patreon, so you can grab the C major scale position, which is this one. Very simple, and then you continue downward to the note G and you just play your basically C major scale from G, but we're gonna call it Mixolydian. So I'm hearing all these notes against that center, that G. Okay, capiche? I think we understand that. If not, let me know. The same deal I'm going to use, and this is maybe the only good thing about guitar. Well, not the only good thing, but one of the good things about guitar is that if you see and hear this scale, this position of the G7 here, you can literally copy paste it. Copy paste here. So I do want to be in awareness of the sounds of the notes and what's happening, but I can still use fingering that I know. This is totally legit. So I'm going to play the C7 C dominant scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, fa, mi, re, do. So what's happening here? The C dominant scale, the C7 scale, or C Mixolydian, contains the same notes, surprise, surprise, as F major. So all that it has is basically C major scale with a flat 7, and that is what giving us the F major scale. Again, as a comparison, if I would play F major scale from this note, same position as the C, I would play this as an option. I can continue downward to hit this note. Do. So this is my fingering. This is optional fingering for the C Mixolydian, the C7. So what I'm doing, I'm starting from fret 8, the C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, and C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So this is the C7 sound. Now, I can do the exact same process with the other chords. Luckily, we only have 3 chords. We have C7, F7, and G7. And also, luckily, the fingering for this is not too crazy. So from F, all I'm doing is the same kind of process, I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So this is F7. Fa. Right, it's almost looking exactly like the C7 here, and it has that sound. So what I want to do right now is trying to see the first 4 bars of the F blues with that idea. All I'm going to do is go from the 1 to the flat 7 and back. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, and then I'm going to the next chord, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi bemol, E flat, because this is F7, and back to C, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And that concludes our first 4 bars of the structure. Next 4 bars are the chord F7. Fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, re, do, si, la, sol, fa. Back to C7. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Last sentence, G7, F7, right? So, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, copy pasting that shape to the G7. Fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi bemol. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa. Now, you can say, well, I don't know the chord scale or the notes for G7, G Mixolydian. And I will say, yes, you do. G Mixolydian, G7 is the same notes as C. So all you need to play is really, you're just playing C major scale in this position, in this area of the guitar. You're just starting from the note G. It's basically, again, the white key is just C major scale, but we're hearing it in a different way because our point of reference is G. So, make sense? Okay, so we have the understanding of what we need, right? We need to be able to play some of these Mixolydian scales, these dominant scales, slowly but surely, and we need to understand how to move between them. So again, the first shape is this one here, and if I'm playing 2 octaves for the C7, it will look like this. Now, before we do the 2 octaves, I'm going to do again this 1 octave, but now I will have a backing track so we can hear the chords and see how that sounds. I have prepared myself here. I will record this so you have it. You can hear it happily. Here we go. So, boom. 2, 3, 4. Second sentence. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi, re, do, si, la, sol, fa. Back. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. To G. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. Do, la, si, do, re, mi, fa. Boom. Okay. All right. So what we see, right, is the sound of what I'm playing. These notes really works well with the chord, right? So if I'm playing, boom, if I'm playing the chord C7 and I'm literally articulating, actually, again, this is the sound that has no crazy tensions and extensions against it. So it's really articulating sort of the situation. Now, with improvised music, rock, blues, jazz, a lot of the conversation is articulating and expressing the change in some way. The changes as in what has changed, right? So when we're singing or playing the blues, we really like to kind of express the idea of we have C7 into F7, so we showcase the movement between E natural here to E flat. That's very beautiful because when the chord C major or C7, we have this E, and then on the chord F7, we have an E flat. So when you're soloing and expressing ideas, being aware of that is a big deal. And again, with jazz, it might be more chromatic, but all the blues masters, all the creative artists are paying attention consciously or unconsciously to these motions and harmonic expression. So for us as musicians, as guitar players, improvisers, to understand that and to be able to know that is a big deal. And what I'm trying to say here is that the sort of like one of the first steps are understanding the structure, understanding what we're talking about, intellectually being like, oh, okay, so we're moving between C7 to F7, etc., trying to hear that, but then trying to play the framework, right? So a lot of times I feel that with music, the framework is a big deal because sometimes people are saying that they're stuck, that they can't, get out of the pentatonic, etc., etc., and a lot of times the reason is sort of like lack of understanding and lack of perspective and lack of framework, right? So sometimes they don't know the positions for the Mixolydian or different colors, so it's really hard to get out of it. It's like trying to cook, but you only have rice, which I love, but it would be nice to have avocado as well, sometimes. I guess I'm hungry. Okay, so let's try for a second to take the same structure, but now we'll play the 2 octaves over the structure. So I'll do it without the track one time, just so you kind of see it. So I'll do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so I can do maybe until the B flat. So I'll do 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 2 2. So what I'm doing is I'm ascending the 2 octaves of the Mixolydian scale over C7, and I'm stopping, I'm pausing on the flat 7. Then I'm going to the next chord, F7, and I'm doing the same exact thing because I have 1 bar. And then when I have 2 bars, I'm ascending to the flat 7 and I'm descending. So again, slow motion, it sounds like this. On the C7, 1. Going to the F7, not in time even. Back to the C7. Next sentence is the 4 chord, F7. So I'll do the same exact thing, ascending to the flat 7 and back, because I have 2 bars. Again, the same thing with the C7. G7, F7, back C, and notice that even though I'm just playing the scales, literally the Mixolydian, the dominant scales, you can hear the chords go by because the scales are so connected to the chords and the harmony. So when I'm just playing the scales, I'm not doing anything. There's no improvisation whatsoever. If I'm just playing this, right, we're kind of feeling this motion of G7, that's the last sentence, F7, C7, and again G7. Which is really interesting, but this is exactly the point. So we can kind of express more ideas than, which is the most beautiful thing, but there's other options of expressing C7, except we can also say because all these notes, all these extensions, the 9, the 13, are actually a part of the scale. So they're not these mysterious random notes that I'm choosing. You can as well, but I'm trying to say that really the framework, the understanding of chord scales and how they interact with the harmony is a big deal and pretty simple. Again, we're seeing simple fingerings, nothing crazy. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the structure one more time. I'll play a little slower so we can hear it better. Boom. Let's try this. Here we go. So F7, the 4, back. Just listen. G7, the same thing. C7, G7. Okay. So what we can see in a very clear way is me describing the changes. Again, there's no improvisation here, it's just framework. But we can hear, even if I won't play with a track, if I just play, it's almost like I play these chords, and that's exactly the meaning of improvisation. When we hear these, all these ideas are surrounding the triads, the 7 chords, and the chord scales, and therefore articulating the centers. So when we're trying to improvise on a structure, when we're trying to learn and expand our vocabulary, it's a really, really good idea to be able to play some of these scales. Okay, so what I would say now, before we try to do it fast and crazy and even solo, I want to try and sing this. Not perfectly, but just trying to hear it a little bit better. So I'm going to try and play the chords, just the basic chords, and I'm going to try and hum or sing the notes. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, right? And mi, I'm saying mi, but I mean E flat, mi bemol, right? Because I'm articulating the F7 here. So it's like C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat for the C7, and F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat. I'm really thinking solfege, so I need to translate. Again, from the top. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. G, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa. Right, one time I kind of ascend it twice. You can ascend or descend or ascend twice, it's fine. The point is that I'm trying to hear these notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. Right, this sound, and sing it and hear that. The singing and connecting to our voice, at least the trial of that, is a big deal. I think the sort of like the holy trinity of music is sort of the ears, the mind, and the fingers. In that sense, the more we are trying to be aware, the more we're trying to hear, the more we're trying to sing, that helps pushing the process in a very positive way to a place of freedom. And this is all we're talking about, right? Trying to be able to express ideas and sounds. Okay, so take it easy. You don't need to do everything today, but just like understand that this is a part of the equation. So instead of playing crazy fast, which is fine, try to hear the sound and be aware of the colors when you're exploring this. And I would again recommend really staying in this area. Okay, so let's hear it one more time over the structure. But what I'm gonna do is another step. So right now we're ascending all the time from the root, right? So I kind of like always jump to the root, which is an important thing to be able to do. But with soloing, with expressing, we want to have the freedom to move between these chords and chord scales. What I mean by that is I was always doing this, right? Just like ascending, and then the root of the name of the chord was in the bass, which is what we talked about. But in reality, when we're soloing, we're staying in an area and I want to shift here to F7, and then back to C7. So I need to see and hear that this E natural over C7 changes to E flat on the F7. And for that, we can try and play an exercise where we shift between the keys, quote unquote, between the chord scales and the chords according to the structure in time. Check it out. I'll try to do it slow. So we'll do 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, F7, C7, another C7, F7, another F7, C7, another C7, G7, F7, C7, G7, so although this sounds simple, in reality this is not easy, because I'm kind of asking you to know what you're doing, to hopefully hear it, and to be able to see the connections between C7, F7, and G7. So you need to have the awareness as much as possible of the notes and the sound. So when I'm playing C7 and I'm saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the next note is F7, so I'm really kind of seeing and trying to hear this. And then back to C7. And then F7 again. Back to C7, etc., etc. And what I'm doing here is I'm ascending and descending in sort of like these parameters around these 2 octaves. So I was kind of staying between, I would say, fret 8 to 12 or 8 to 10. So I was switching every time when I got to around this area to the next chord scale. This is not easy, but this is super, super helpful in the process of trying to solo and improvise, because it will give us this clarity of I'm playing a C7 and then I'm playing an F7 and the colors change. It's this and this is super meaningful. Again, this is us taking step by step into freedom and into being able to articulate more. Okay, so recap. What I suggest, again, if you're into this process, is trying to learn and hear this progression of the 12-bar blues in a slightly deeper way, hearing the chords move between the 1 and the 4 and tagging it, singing the bass line potentially, being able to play the shell chords in time, simple but kind of efficient. And then from there we understand the idea of Mixolydian, of a dominant sound, and then we're basically copy pasting that sound over the C7, the F7, and the G7. And then I'm suggesting doing it in 1 octave, ascending, descending, etc., and then the 2 octaves, placing that in time on the structure, trying to sing that, and then later on trying to improvise. All right, thank you so much. I hope this was helpful and meaningful. I'll try to do more stuff. Let me know. I'd love to hear what you think, if this is a good kind of format of articulating information. And I really hope, this is meaningful. And again, thanks again for the kind messages and emails and everything. And maybe one last thing, I am going to sell 3 guitars that I bought a while ago that I use a lot as well, also on the channel. So I will leave an email email or a link in the bio. So you can, if you're interested, if you're looking for a guitar, you don't have to buy a guitar. But if you are looking for a guitar, it's a cool instrument. It's not too expensive. I think one is around 600, one is around 900, so it's nothing crazy. And there's one more, I forget how much it is. But so if you are looking for a good instrument that I used for many years, to be honest, and recorded albums and shows on that, let me know, and you can, if you're, you know, we can talk about it basically. But again, no problem if you're happy with your instrument. It's all good. All right, thank you. Peace out.